I will future.
Oh, is that the first time she's done it?
It's not the first time, but around.
And you need to remember this for the last part of the talk, right? Now don't worry about that little shaving nick on the side of the face, that's fine. Okay, it's just like if your mum or your dad does it and they might go out and put a bit of Vaseline or a bit of tissue on there and forget that they go out with it, there's a big blotch of tissue there. But don't worry, look, don't she look different?
A piggy, piggy.
Right, shall we go, Andrew? Shall we go do some dancing?
Yeah. Yeah, Kat's pregnant. She's about a month. Yeah, she's chilling in the boat.
That's nice.
What brings you to the farm today?
We just wanted to go out today, and we saw that there was this event going on today, so we thought we were going to have a look.
Cool. So one of the things we're finding interesting is that we're seeing animals that we don't usually see when we live in a city like London, right? So we're usually used to seeing dogs and cats, but we don't see chickens, cows and pigs. And these are usually the animals that we consume. So in seeing these animals, what kind of experience does it give you? Does it make you feel more comfortable with eating animal products, or do you get any other feelings? How do you feel about it?
No feelings at all.
No feelings.
I eat meat, but I don't feel like sympathy. It sounds really cruel, but I don't feel really anything of seeing a pig.
Sure.
And I'm not going to stop eating meat.
Yeah, funny enough, we're both meat eaters, and we're just saying, they seem to obviously have a pretty sweet life here, quite happy and stuff.
Definitely.
Certain animals are seen as farm animals that are traditionally grown to be killed and eaten. Like other animals, like great animals in Africa and stuff, like you wouldn't eat a giraffe or a lion. Obviously there aren't many of them, but even if they almost seem like too grand an animal to be given that treatment.
Yeah.
Almost like a cow or a sheep seems like, we're
feeding
that's
them.
what they're for, yeah.
I don't feel guilty, or I didn't make the assumption actually until you thought about it.
Okay, yeah, not something you thought about. Sure. So I mean, I guess the animals here, they don't seem to be suffering, right? We're not seeing them in pain, so why would you wouldn't really feel any discomfort. But I guess the interesting thing about this is there is a part of the process that we're not seeing, right? Like when they go to the slaughterhouse. So do you think if you saw that aspect, would you feel any differently?
Perhaps, probably, yes.
Tricky to think about. But let's say hypothetically these animals are super happy, belly rubs every day, loads of space, all these animals really happy. Do you think there would be a humane or a good way to kill them?
Well, I suppose yes.
What would that look like?
Like a humane way to how to kill animals without as little as possible pain.
Let's say we've got two animals, two pigs. One of them hasn't been bred to be eaten and the other one has. Is there a moral difference between which one I kill, or is it both the same?
I think there is a difference, because one you raise to be eaten.
Sure.
So the purpose of you raising that pig is to...
That's true, yeah.
To process them as a meat, whereas the other one you just grow them as an animal, like a pet. So there is a difference, isn't it?
Do you think there's a difference intrinsically with the animal, though? So in their capacities?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Because I guess you treat them differently, unconsciously, I think. Yeah, so there should be a difference.
Say if it was a dog here, and I got a gun out, and I put the gun to the back of the dog's head and pulled the trigger. Would you see any ethical issue with me doing that?
I wouldn't support you doing it, but I don't see any... I wouldn't stop you either.
Would you say that it was unethical for me to do so? Is it morally wrong? for me to kill the dog if I don't need to?
If you don't need to, yes, then there is no reason why you should do it.
What if I enjoyed it? What if I got pleasure? Would that justify it?
No.
Oh, good answer. So let's say if I swap the dog then with a pig,
Yeah.
would you feel any differently?
No.
You'd still see it was wrong if I don't need to.
If you don't need to, but
Yeah.
if you need it because you want to eat it, then it's a totally different
Right.
thing. And the different thing is there that you don't eat a dog, whereas you eat a pig.
Do you think we need to consume any animal products to survive or be healthy at all?
I think you do, personally, the nutrients that you get from them. But if somebody made something in a factory that is just like a steak and has got all the same, I would be well up for it. Yeah.
If there was an alternative.
Yeah, absolutely.
of
Yeah.
course,
If it was as tasty and as nutritious and everything, 100% I'd be all over it. Yeah.
Do you think there are any nutrients we'd be missing out on if we were to stop eating animal products?
Mainly?
I think it's, again, I don't know, but I've always thought it's quite a complex mix of stuff. Like from an egg you get tons of stuff. It's not just like, oh, these three things, there's loads of things in there, and to replicate that artificially I think it would be quite tricky at the moment.
Sure.
But again, if it was possible, then yeah.
I guess we have to ask ourselves, where do the animals get those nutrients from, right? Because we're sort of filtering it through those animals. Hypothetically, if we could be healthy on a vegan diet, if those alternatives already existed in the form of plants, plant-based burgers, things like that, would it be a moral obligation not to consume animals, do you think? You said if you want to eat it. Do you think we need to eat the pig? Or is it a desire?
It is a desire.
Would you say that eating the pig is unnecessary?
It is not unnecessary. It's not necessary. Necessary. You can perfectly live a happy life and a healthy life as a vegetarian. But I also don't think you should stop people eating meat.
So, I mean, we do have laws stopping people from, say, hurting dogs, right? If I was going to hurt a dog here now, it would be illegal.
Okay, I didn't know.
Yeah, so, I mean, even these animals, if I started beating them,
Yeah.
you'd...
But it's the same in a slaughterhouse, I suppose. It's also not illegal to beat them and to have them suffer more than necessary.
Sure. So do you believe, with your values, you believe that there should be a personal choice? So you should be allowed to eat animals if you want to.
Yeah.
If I want to go watch a football match, that's just my personal choice. But it's no longer personal if there's a victim.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that?
Yes.
So do you think that eating an animal, would that come under personal choice, or would that just be a choice that does?
It's a personal choice, because I understand that an animal is different to a human being. And if you want to watch, let's say, Roman games, where there's a lot of people, it's something completely different, because then we are talking about people. Whereas if we eat meat, then we are talking about animals.
Yeah, human beings have eaten meat.
for a very long
since we were in
time,
caves
so-
or whatever. So
Sure.
But I don't think people who eat meats, they're only eat meats because of the protein, because of the nutrients. They also like the taste of it
Right,
and the
that's right.
texture of it.
I think the first point you made was about the fact that it's always happened.
Yeah.
Very true. Since our ancestors, we've been eating these animals. Do you think just because something's always happened in our past, does that necessarily make it moral to continue today?
no, but I think changing that is.
I agree. So would you agree with me in saying it doesn't make it moral, but it makes it more difficult to get rid of?
Yeah.
Do you think that an act can be justified by someone getting pleasure? So if I'm going to harm an animal, can I say, but I get pleasure? Is that a good enough reason?
I think so, yeah. Personally, I think
So let's say if I was to slap you in the face and I said, yeah, but I really like that. I enjoyed it. And you said that we are different to animals. And I completely agree. I think there's many differences between, say, me and a pig. And there's many differences between you and me. So what is the difference that justifies that differential treatment? So what's the difference between me and a pig that makes it okay to kill a pig but not me? I know that's tricky on the spot.
Yeah, I know. I think maybe self-awareness.
Okay,
Um,
that's an interesting one.
that you know.
Let's go with that because I think that's an interesting one. So let's say I found a human with the self-awareness of a pig. Can I kill them?
No,
Why?
because it's still a human.
So it's not the self-awareness that makes it okay.
No, okay, I cannot answer your question then.
Because we have to eat,
Yeah.
and you have to stab them in the face. That's the difference.
Do we have to eat animals?
No, you have to eat something.
Yes.
Yep.
Would you say that slapping you in the face and eating animal products are equally unnecessary?
No.
What's the difference there?
Because I have to eat food.
Yes, I completely agree with that. But do you think we need to eat animal products?
At the moment, personally, I do. Yeah.
What would be the barrier there stopping you from not doing it then, not giving up animal products? Why is it a necessity? If we were to say it's just because they're not human, surely I could justify anything by saying they're not in my group, right? I could say, well, he's not my race.
Yeah.
So, would you accept me saying that? Would you, if I was racist and you said, why are you doing that?
No, I wouldn't accept that, but it's still I think there's still a difference between a man and an animal.
I agree, but I could say I think there's a difference between me and a black person.
Yeah. Okay.
Would there be a difference in our logic there? Would the logic be the same?
Yes, because probably you have a different definition of a person, and you know, I don't take the skin color into the definition of being a person or not being a person.
Sure. It's just like the skin colour is just arbitrary, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't really mean anything.
Yeah.
But could I not suggest to you that species is arbitrary if we're not basing it on any traits? So if you're going to say, if you're going to say intelligence, they're less intelligent, and that's something we can measure.
Yeah.
But to say they're not the same species is just appealing to a group, right? So what is it about the pig that would make it okay? And if I transferred that trait into a human,
well, I think the difference is that there is a need for people to consume meat. Okay, this need is not. It can be changed by healthy proteins and other stuff. But in a way, there is still a need for the people, and they have their own choice to either eat meat or not eat meat.
would you say it's a need or would you say it's a want? Could you leave here today and say be vegan if you wanted to?
Yes, if I want to, I could. Yeah.
It's not a necessity. It's more that maybe you haven't looked into how to do it in a healthy way. Would that be more true? Because we know that the evidence shows that we can be healthy without eating animals.
I think it's just a preference whether trying to stay healthy or not, because like I said before, like you eat meat because you like it. It's not just because you want to be healthy, isn't it? Because if you want to be really healthy, then I guess vegan is a great way to do it, but you don't just choose to eat stuff because you just always care about your health.
True. So would you say that for you it should be a personal choice whether we consume animals?
Yeah.
We should have the freedom to choose as long as our choices don't harm others. Would you agree with that? Would you
harm others as mean like human beings or just in life in general?
Well, to you, would you say a pig is another being, or
it is a life, but like I think it's more like we treat the farm animals like a meat that we eat. We grow them for a way of eating, so it's not like we're killing unnecessary life. It's more like they're raised to be killed.
could I not say exactly the same thing for dog fighting? Could I not say I'm raising them for the purpose of dog fighting? and I get pleasure from it, and it's my choice. You don't have to take part in dog fighting, but it's my choice. How would you feel about that if I said that? Would you try and challenge me on that?
I wouldn't personally.
Mhm.
I'm like, yeah, fair enough. You're trying to put the animal as the same level as human, whereas we treat them differently.
But I don't think you need to think that a pig is equal to me, not to eat the pig. I think we just need to say that their life is worth more than my taste pleasure.
Whoa.